I'm trapped in a stranger's car, my heart racing as I realize I've made a terrible mistake. The old man's friendly demeanor has turned into an unsettling grin as he drives me back to my school. How did I end up here? Just a few weeks ago, I had moved to a new city for college, excited to start this new chapter of my life. I had just gotten settled into my dorm and was in the process of decorating it. I didn't have a car, but luckily, I had inherited a nice mountain bike from a family member. The bike had been sitting in my dad's basement for a while, and the tire was flat, but I was eager to start using it to get around campus. As I walked the bike to a nearby shop to get the tire pumped up, I felt a sense of freedom and independence. The staff at the shop were friendly and helpful, and I left the bike with them over the weekend to make sure the tire was okay. It was on that Thursday, as I was leaving the shop, that I met the old man. He commented on my bike, saying it looked really nice, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. But as he continued to talk to me, I started to feel a sense of unease. He was taking too much interest in my bike, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was off. Despite my reservations, the old man offered me a ride home, and I found myself hesitant to accept. I told him it was only a 15-minute walk, but he insisted that I didn't need to be walking that far in the heat. I was 18 years old, and I should have known better than to get into a car with a stranger. But I didn't want to be rude, and I thought that maybe he was just being kind. So I got into the car, trying to convince myself that it was okay. As we drove, I realized that he knew the school and the campus, and I even told him what I was majoring in. I couldn't help but feel a sense of vulnerability as I realized that he now knew my name, my major, and where I lived. The car ride was short, and before I knew it, we were back at my school. I got out of the car, relieved to be back on solid ground, and watched as the old man drove away. I didn't think much of the encounter, and I went about my week, riding my bike to class and to the store. But on Friday, disaster struck. I walked past the spot where I had locked up my bike, and it was gone. The lock was destroyed, lying on the ground next to where my bike had been. I felt a wave of panic wash over me as I realized that my bike had been stolen. I immediately filed a police report with the campus police, but as I looked back on the events of the past week, I couldn't help but feel a sense of regret. I had let a suspicious old man take me home, and now my bike was gone. It seemed like more than just a coincidence. I couldn't help but wonder if I had just been blind to the warning signs. Had I been too trusting, too eager to please? The old man's friendly demeanor had turned out to be a ruse, and I had fallen for it hook, line, and sinker. As I sat in my dorm room, feeling frustrated and upset, I couldn't help but think about what I could have done differently. I should have trusted my instincts, should have been more cautious. But it was too late now, and all I could do was hope that my bike would turn up again. The police were investigating, but I wasn't holding out much hope. It seemed like my bike was gone for good, and I was left to pick up the pieces. I thought back to the car ride, to the old man's smile and his friendly words. It had all seemed so innocent at the time, but now it seemed sinister. I realized that I had been so focused on being polite, on not wanting to be rude, that I had ignored my own instincts. I had let a stranger take me home, and now I was paying the price. It was a hard lesson to learn, but I knew that I would never forget it. I would never again ignore my gut feeling, never again let a stranger take advantage of me. As I looked back on the events of the past week, I couldn't help but feel a sense of anger and frustration. I had been so careful, so cautious, and yet I had still fallen victim to a thief. But as I thought about it more, I realized that it wasn't just about the bike. It was about the sense of security, the sense of safety that I had lost. I had let a stranger into my life, and now I felt vulnerable and exposed. I knew that it would take time to get over this feeling, but I was determined to learn from my mistake. I would be more careful in the future, more cautious. I would trust my instincts, and I would never again let a stranger take advantage of me. As I sat in my dorm room, feeling sorry for myself, I couldn't help but wonder what could have been done to prevent this. Should I have been more careful, more vigilant? Should I have trusted my instincts and avoided the old man altogether? The questions swirled in my head, but I knew that I would never have the answers. All I could do was move forward, learn from my mistake, and hope that my bike would turn up again. Now, as I look back on the events of the past week, I am left to ponder the what-ifs. What if I had not gotten into the car with the old man? What if I had been more careful, more cautious? The questions will haunt me for a long time, but I know that I will learn from my mistake. I will be more careful in the future, more vigilant. And I will never again let a stranger take advantage of me. Was I right to blame myself for letting a suspicious old man take me home, or was it just a mistake that could have happened to anyone?
If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Drop your verdict in the comments below, subscribe for new stories every single day, and hit the notification bell so you never miss one.